often say we learn how to read in school, but actually we only learn how to decode letters and associate them to sounds, not how to read with purpose, speed, and depth. That's not reading. That's like teaching somebody to kick a ball, calling them a soccer player, and then sending them to the World Cup. That's absurd, isn't it? Today, I am here to challenge how you think about reading and to invite you to upgrade this very, very underestimated skill. Now, before I start, let's do a no-shaming short inventory. How many books did you read in the last 12 months? Let's see. One book? Or you know what? Even half a book? Just show by hands. Wow, this sets you already above a quite impressive high number of people. According to UNESCO, 25% of the world population cannot or just won't read books. Now, keep your hand up, please, if you've read 10 books in the past 12 months. All right, this is a global average. Okay? 30 books? 30 books? I see some hands. These are the hands of people who have very, very good reading habits. Let's go a little bit higher. 50 books or 52 books? Wow. Welcome to the legendary, distinguished League of Happy Readers, with names like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Albert Einstein, and you, young lady. But even avid readers have a problem, a challenge, which we sometimes call anti-library. That is accumulating more books than we can ever read. Those unread books you have, they are full of information, of tips, of ideas, perhaps perspectives or tools that have the potential to change your life. This is why I think it's so crucial to invest in advanced reading techniques like speed reading. Now, most of you here in the room read around 200 words a minute. If you read only 10 minutes a day, this sums up to the global average of 10 books a year. In the next 50 years, which I hope you are going to happily and healthily live, this will sum up to 500 books. Now, if you double your reading speed, invest a little bit more time, 25 minutes a day, you end up reading 2,600 books in the next 50 years. That's quite a lot, 5 times more than you have now. But why don't people invest in reading skills? Well, first of all, I think that a lot of people think that reading is like a natural skill. You pick it up as a language as you go. And to be honest, I think that a lot of people think that speed reading, that it just ruins comprehension. They imagine that doing the speed read drills is going to steal everything which has meaning. And that's not true. Indeed, while you're doing speed reading drills, you do intensive interval training for the hours. We don't concentrate on comprehension, but this makes you an overall better reader. Like a soccer player would do interval training not to race like crazy during a match, but to become a better runner overall. You do interval training first, and then you read normally, but your new normal is faster. Another objection I hear sometimes is speed reading would just ruin the joy of reading. And people picture speed readers like running through a museum, barely glancing at Mona Lisa. Well, that's not true. Actually, speed readers see more, not just because of the speed, but because of the focus. Let me ask you, when are you more focused while driving? 30 kilometers an hour through a village? Or are you more focused when you're really speeding up on a highway with 120 kilometers an hour? Focus isn't actually connected to slowness. Speed sharpens your attention. Sometimes I even hear this question, speed reading? Why should I read faster? I'm not on a race. That's pretty fair, I must say. But speed reading gives you an option. Think about reading as driving a Ferrari. You decide how you drive. You may speed up, you may slow down, even stop and admire beautiful sentences. It's your choice. But if deadlines loom, information overload, you want your engine to be ready to accelerate. Now, if you're going to apply all the tips I'm going to give you in about a minute, reading one book a week is not going to be undoable. Actually, it's very, very realistic. Now, for me personally, having these tools wasn't just an improvement, it was a personal revolution because I didn't start up as a speed reader. Actually, I think my beginning of my reading career was reading phobia. How did it all start? I am 7, sitting in a Hungarian classroom, trying to fit in. Not easy when you're only half Hungarian. And, Hungarian is not my mother tongue, more as like a distant cousin tongue. Ironically, my last name, Magyarosi, literally means Hungarian. And you would think like this is a free pass to Hogwarts if your last name is Wizard. My Hungarian classmates make sure I know I'm only half okay. Not a mean way, but the brutal, honest way children tell you smell like broccoli way. Yeah, the day comes. The teacher asks me to read out loud in front of the classroom. I feel drowning in words. I'm sweating, I'm trembling. I kind of get through. The teacher says, stop. Done. But then a follow-up question. So, Erika, what did you think of the text? Think? What? I didn't think. I survived. I didn't even know I was supposed to think. So I failed. I had no idea what the text was about. And officially now I'm a bad Hungarian reader. Now, let's see. Have you ever had the situation of having to read out loud and not knowing what you've read? Oh, thank you so much for not letting me feel so unique. Yes. So it happens a lot, right? There's actually a name for this, and that is called cognitive overload. It's when your brain is busy dealing with a lot of text. 1, decoding the text, then for me, sounding Hungarian, then keeping up with the pressure, also trying to understand. This is a lot for the brain. And of course, it's not just me reading out loud. You also have this while you're reading silently for yourself. Cognitive overload is something we experience a lot while reading, especially technical texts. I wish I could go back to little Erika and tell her, hey, don't worry. You're not a bad Hungarian reader. You're just overwhelmed and you're going to be fine. In 37 years from now, you are going to read 24 times faster. You are going to teach others how to speed read and you're going to give a TED talk about that. Don't worry. Now, fast forward 10 years after my bad Hungarian drama, I decided to study philosophy. Now, let me tell you something about academic philosophy. This is the one place where reading slowly is treated like a moral virtue. You have to read slowly, line by line, painfully, heroically. So I did what every philosophy student does. Reading, rereading, highlighting, summarizing. Summarizing the summary. Does this sound familiar? Yeah, I know. I remember standing in front of a paragraph from Immanuel Kant, The Critique of Pure Reason, and reading it again and again, feeling like hitting my head against the wall and pretending to have fun. And I thought, this slow stuff, it just doesn't work. Probably it's the language. I decided to read Kant in original in German. I moved to Tübingen, to Germany, and that changed everything. I gave myself 4 months to reach C1 in German. Well, actually, the German state gave me 4 months to reach C1 in German. And I decided to do something different, not to slow learn, but to speed learn. 12 hours a day, active recall, spaced repetition, no time for perfectionism. Just go, go, go. And the result was amazing. I hit C1 and I'm allowed to study in Germany, in Tübingen, sociology, a new, very reading intensive study. So I thought if speed learning can go, what about speed reading? Are there methods around reading which allow me not to just survive text, but starting perhaps to communicate with them? So I started to read obsessively about reading and discovered some beautiful techniques, which I'm going to show you right now. So what did I do? Step number 0. Before I show you anything and before you try all these things, please measure your reading speed. Read for 1 minute and count how many words you've read. You need to measure what you want to improve. I know it feels a little bit like your phone screen time. You don't want to know, but then you have the number and you can get better. So don't forget 1 minute, count the words, then you have it. Step number 1, use a pacer. Probably you've read this before, but please do it. It's a game changer. What you do, you take your finger or a pen, or if you're reading on an e-reader, a cotton swab. Yes, it sounds crazy, but it works very, very well. Why? Because movement invites movement. Your eyes are not just hoping to get through the text, they have a direction. And this is going to help you very much in order to stay concentrated while you're reading. My tip number 2, or your step number 2, is set a speed goal. If you use a pacer, just go a little bit faster than your chilling zone. I call this spice or energy. Just move your finger a little bit faster. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi would call this flow, and this makes readers happy. Just a small movement is going to invite your brain to adapt to a higher level. Higher level, go with step number 3. This is using a metronome. It's a little bit for pros. Download any metronome app and set it to 50 beats per minute. That is 50. It's going to sound a little bit like this. Tick, tick, tick. You take one line, 1 beat. You go for 1 minute. It's going to be spicy, but then let's make it even a little bit spicier. You do 70 beats per minute. This sounds like this. Tick, 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 tick. 1 line, 1 beat. 2 minutes of this. Then you do 90 beats per minute. You're going to hate me for that, I know, but you're going to love me afterwards. You do tick, 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 tick for 2 minutes. We call this highway effect. Your brain is first overwhelmed, but if you then go back to 50 beats per minute, you're going to sense calmness, focus, and you will start to understand. Now, 50 beats per minute, you are already reading around 500 words per minute, and that's quite cool. Now, I'm sharing these tips with you not because I'm obsessed about speed, but because it's literally changed my life. I studied in 2 countries at the same time. I'm not even sure if that was legal. Working also to finance my study. In the past 17 years, I helped over 15,000 students, PhDs, postdocs, managers, high achievers, even professors, how to change the way they deal with information and how to increase their reading speed. This is something which can literally change the way you live. Now, of course, in order to become an excellent reader, you need a little bit more than just speed. And give me 2 minutes to show you the next dimensions. We have speed first. The next one is comprehension. A lot of you think that comprehension starts while you're reading. actually, it should start before you read. Ludwig Wittgenstein said, in order to understand difficult books, actually his book, you need to have the questions that led to the book's writing before. What does that mean? You need to ask the questions the book is going to try to answer. So before you start reading, please set an alignment with the book. Have a book summary research. Read the table of content. Ask yourself, what do I want to know? Don't just hope to get information. The next dimension is actually retention. Make it stick. One thing which really revolutionized my memory was not just rereading the text and hoping to remember, but reproducing what I've read. You read for 10 minutes, you just close the book and reproduce what you've read. Use spaced repetition algorithm flashcards app like Anki, Quizlets, Study Smarter. I personally use Readwise. I really love it and I definitely recommend it. The last one, for me personally, the most important one. Take action. Take one thing from every book and turn it into action. Put it in your calendar. Talk about it. Write about it. Build on it. You all have dreams. In order to achieve your dreams, you need knowledge. In order to absorb knowledge, you need to read. So for today, I invite you to do a short test, 1 minute. Count how many words you've read. You have your reading speed. And tomorrow, change how you read, because reading is going to change your life.